those of you that are unaware, Wizards of the Coast has a new starter set. The D&D starter set, Lost Mines of Phandelver, was a huge hit. It is my favorite adventure module. Lost Mines of Phandelver is one of my favorite adventure modules. And as you can imagine, when Wizards of the Coast announced Dragons of Stormwreck Isle, it was bittersweet because I'm sad to see Lost Mines of Phandelver go. Fortunately, they're going to be expanding on it. It's going to make it they're going to make a whole module out of it. Can't wait for that. More on that later. But now we have Dragons of Stormwreck Isle. I have no idea what's in this. Haven't watched any videos on it. I have no idea what's going on in here. So we're going to find out. And we're going to make a video out of it. You know what? I don't have chat. All right. I'm sorry, those of you that are watching the video and not the stream. Chat is unavailable right now. No, I cut too deep. That's why you cut from the side. Steely cheese. So these things don't happen. Amateur. All right, here we go. We got our dice. You know what I should have grabbed? I should grab the LMOP starter set. It's 13 now. So we got some dice. I should compare it, but you know. Got a set of dice. We've got the adventure itself. This one feels a bit thicker than LMOP, to be honest. Ooh, colored maps. Let's go. We got some nice art in here too. Look at that dragon, bro. LMOP. When I say LMOP, I'm referring to Lost Mines of Phandelver. LMOP. LMOP. All right, so there's our dragon. I'm trying to get rid of this glare. The dragon. We got a kobold here with some fire. I'm not sure if all this is new art. This looks like new art. I've never seen this before. We got a map. That's a Schley map. Got a nice owlbear. Yeah, I don't recognize any of this art, so I think it's new. Seagrow, we got a Seagrow, we got a cave map, got some myconids, love it. I don't know what they're interacting with here. That's pretty cool. Party finds a body. The wreck of Compass Rose. So we actually got a boat map that's sinking. Nice little blue dragon whelpling, look at that thing. Adorable. Clifftop Observatory. Boots of Elven. All right, here's our baby blue. Fighting some undead, it looks like. I think this is new. All right, so that's the adventure. I'm gonna have a better look at this. Don't worry. It's an unboxing of a starter set. Not everyone's cup of tea. This is boring. Then go away. Then go away. What are you doing here? Listen, in their defense, talking about D&D can get boring. I get really excited about new stuff, but if you go on like a rant about like, you know, OSR. Okay, wait. What is this? Rulebook? Okay, so this is just like, okay, this is a rule book. I'm just going to skim through this real quick. I make the content that I would want to watch. All right. I kind of like this art. It's pretty good. Looks like he's learning magic missile. He just fired it at a cat. So this art, so even though this is a rule book with rules from the player's handbook, there is some new art in there, or at least it looks like it. So that's cool. So this is just a mini player's handbook teaching you how to play. We got some ads, good stuff. We got some character sheets. Now, it was my understanding that these character sheets are pre-gens. All right, they give us a rogue, wizard, paladin. They give us quite a few characters. Fighter, cleric. So these are just pre-gen characters. I'm not really going to get too much into these. I would recommend just handing these off to new players. Not a lot of people use pre-gen characters. I think they're great for new players. That way they don't have to, because if a new player wants to play a spellcaster, the spell list can be overwhelming. So handing them a character that's pre-generated and just showing them the spells that they have, don't sleep on that. All right, is that it? Okay, that's all we got. They gave us a little bit of padding, so it looks like there's more in here than there actually is. And this is the gold. This is why I bought this set right here. This adventure. Info on the new creature. Your shorts on the various creatures of D&D are my favorite. Hey, I'm glad you enjoy them. Info on the new creature. You guys want to look at that? Can somebody verify this is new? Not the Sturge. This Spore Servant Octopus. Can somebody verify this is a new creature? Because I don't recognize it. Yes, this is a new creature? Okay. It's a CR1. It's got 52 hit points. That's a lot of hit points for a CR1. 11 AC. It can hold its breath, water breathing. A tentacle attack, 5 to hit, D8. It's a large plant. Oh, it's a plant. That's interesting. This is not an animal. This is a plant. Spore Servant. Okay. So this is an octopus that the myconids gain control of. So what the myconids do is they can use their spores to animate creatures. They basically turn them into zombies with spore zombies. So I think without reading this, I think this is an octopus that has died and the myconids have animated. Yeah, spore servants are dead creatures reanimated by the magical spores of myconid. Yeah, so that's what that is. Fungopus. I actually like that. Fungopus. Okay, so running the adventure. Sorry for the glare. I'm going to try and fix it. Okay, so they give us an overview, getting started, a blurb about the Forgotten Realms, adventure background. Actually, I kind of want to read this. One big gripe that I have about this is that it's not, there's no way to get this digital. So there's no way I can roll this. I can run this on Roll20. I'm going to have to find these maps online. Maybe somebody recreated them, hopefully. But as far as I know, this starter set is exclusive to Target. So I actually had to drive to Target to get this. There was no way to order it. There's no way to get it online. As far as I know, somebody can correct me in the comments. According to legend, 2 families of dragons came into being in the very first days of the world's creation, Bahamut and Tiamat. The origin of Dragon's Rest is rooted in that animosity. Ages ago, a fire-breathing red dragon called Sheroth rampaged up and down the Sword Coast. 3 metallics joined forces to battle Sheroth and imprisoned her beneath the ocean floor, believing seawater would quench her fire and keep her bound forever. But Sheroth's fury, legend says, caused the undersea volcanic activity that formed Stormwreck Isle. In all likelihood, Sheroth is long dead and entombed beneath the island, but chromatic dragons whisper that she still lives and will one day emerge from her prison. One fact is undeniable. The powerful magic embodied in such an ancient dragon has left a permanent mark on Stormwreck Isle. The magic has drawn other dragons to the island throughout the centuries, making it a recurring battlefield in the conflict between chromatic and metallics. Several of these dragons have died there, each leaving behind a spiritual scar that causes unpredictable magical effects. 100 years ago, a blue dragon tried to harness this destructive magic. A bronze dragon named Runara pleaded with him to abandon his schemes. When he refused, Runara killed him, adding more dragon grave to the island. Runara has grown weary of strife, and Stormwreck Isle wounds are a constant reminder to her of the cost of such conflict. Devoting herself to peace and reconciliation, she established the Cloister of Dragon's Rest as a safe haven for violence. Ooh. Living in human guise, I love it so far. Runara now serves as the leader of a tiny group of hermits, but the ageless conflict between chromatic and metallic dragons threatens to disrupt the serenity of Dragon's Rest, and this is where the adventure begins. In this adventure, the characters experience the magical scars left behind by the death of dragons, faced with the evil schemes of one living dragon and the righteous anger of another. This adventure has my attention. There's 4 chapters. First is Dragon's Rest, which introduces Runara and her cloister. You learn about the problems of the island, additional encounters you can use, including a magical hot spring with mysterious guardians at the site of a brass dragon's death. And then chapter 2 is Seagrow Caves, describes how the grave of Sheroth spawns magical connections to the elemental plane of fire that threaten a community of mushroom-like myconids. And then we have the Cursed Shipwreck, which details a ship that crashed along the bones of a gold dragon and the horrible curse within the ship's hold. And finally, chapter 4 is the Clifftop Observatory, which brings the characters to the site where Runara killed a blue dragon and where the blue dragon's grandson has made his lair. Okay, so this is just some basic DM stuff. Here's Stormwreck Isle. I'm not sure where in the Sword Coast this is, though, because this kind of looks like it's south of Ghostmark, or So, like, if I'm trying to imagine the map, I think Neverwinter is like right here. So this would be Stormwreck, but I don't really have a lot to go off with this map. But it looks like everything takes place in this island here. How many levels does this take you? I believe it takes you to level 3. Okay, welcome to Dragon's Rest. So we start in Dragon's Rest, it looks like. I'm not going to read I'm not going to read the entire adventure, just for brevity's sake. So I'm going to make some assumptions as I read it, as I skim through it. So we're going to start in Dragon's Rest. We fight zombie sailors. Runara helps if we lose, or we can avoid them. So, okay, so it looks like maybe we get shipwrecked. Maybe that's what happened. All right, here's Runara. Got some kobolds. They probably worship the dragons of Dragon's Rest. NPCs here. Here's Dragon Rest itself. Let's make a character right now and run the whole module. I want to run this module. It's gonna be a decent 1 to 2 shot for high level party. The website says it takes characters from 1 to 3. That's pretty cool. So, all right, so exploring the island. So it looks like the first thing we do, all right, we have some quests. I'm gonna read through some of these. Zombie resurgence. So some of the quests are go deal with zombies, establish contact with myconids. They sell a ship abruptly veer off course. Go check out a shipwreck. Oh, these are how, okay, so these right here, these individual quests are for the pre-gen characters. So if one of your players is playing the cleric, the fighter, the paladin, the rogue, or the wizard, they each have an individual quest that they can do. A lost wormling. When the characters have proven themselves trustworthy and competent by dealing with the zombies, the myconids, and the shipwreck, Runara decides it's time to confide in them. She summons them to the temple. She tells them that a bronze dragon wormling named Adrian came to the island a few months ago and studied with her at Dragon's Rest. 5 days before the character showed up, he argued with her, rejected her teachings, and stormed away. Okay, so go find a lost wormling. All right, so now we're exploring the island. We've got an owlbear, the fume drakes, renegade kobolds. All right, chapter 2. This chapter assumes the characters come here before going to the wreck of Compass Rose, and they are still level 1. Simple instructions to scale up the danger in combat encounters if the characters complete chapter 3 before coming here. Entering the cave, interacting with myconids. We've got the octopus. Looks like the octopus is the guardian. You have to fight them right away to get in. Sturges, fungus. Dragon's Rest has a rowboat, so you can visit the Compass Rose. Here's the Compass Rose. So it looks like chapter 3 is exclusively this. What was chapter 3 called? Cursed Shipwreck. Yeah. So it looks like chapter 3 is exclusively this dungeon. All right, zombies. A ghoul. Ooh, a ghoul at level 2. Oh boy. Is it just one ghoul? Looks like a zombie and a ghoul. We got harpies, fat loot. Talking to the harpy. What do we get for the fat loot? Looks like some gold. All right, ending this chapter, gain a level. Okay. All right. The last chapter is Clifftop Observatory. Now, if I remember correctly from what we just read, the Clifftop Observatory is where the wormling, where Renara's wormling went. The combat encounters are probably too difficult. If they come here before visiting the other sites, the combat will be too difficult. Chat, we have any guesses on what on the big boss before I look? Anybody want to guess what the big boss is? All right. The observatory's got kobolds, dragon effigies, isolated study, observatory tower, a blue dragon wormling. You can either sneak around it, wake it up, the secret library, and then here's our bronze dragon wormling, Tarask. All right, what is this ritual? If the characters leave the observatory without defeating Sparkrender. Okay, which one's Sparkrender? Is that the blue worm? Sparkrender. Okay, Sparkrender is the boss. A blue dragon wormling is the boss, it looks like. If the characters leave without defeating Sparkrender, they might return to find the blue wormling's ritual underway. To stop the ritual, they must face Sparkrender, potentially with the help of the bronze dragon wormling. The reward for completing this quest is a potion of healing, a pearl worth 100 gold, free room and board at Dragon's Rest, it looks like. You could probably make like a hub out of Dragon's Rest. That's pretty cool. Like you could make that the base of operations where they do all the other things. All right, that's the adventure. I look forward to running it.